Now, the Tuscaloosa Chevrolet Sports Update with WVUA's Gary Harris.
Good evening, everyone. The Alabama baseball team opens the 2013 season tomorrow night at home against VMI. As we've talked about often, Alabama's looking to rebound from a disappointing 2012 season, and they'll face a schedule this year that will test them early and often.
It's a very balanced schedule. You know, I think there's 8 teams right now in the top 25 in the SEC. So, as we all know, I mean, the SEC is going to be, you know, the top conference again this year and always going to play tremendous baseball. So, challenging schedule, and particularly non-conference is really challenging, which, again, I mean, you find out a lot about your team in those first 3 weeks, and you find your weaknesses and your strengths and where you need to go to get better, you know, each game that you play. And I believe in a tough schedule. I think you have to do that if you're going to be good in the end.
After 2 weeks out on the road, the 5th-ranked Alabama gymnastics squad returns home tomorrow night when it faces number 15 Auburn at Coleman Coliseum. The Tide comes into Friday's meet looking for its 106th consecutive win over the Tigers, a streak that dates back more than 30 years and includes both regular and postseason meetings. Now, while the Tide holds a decisive lead in the all-time series, the battle for in-state supremacy has gotten closer and closer as of late, and Sarah Patterson told us that this year's Auburn squad is the best AU team ever.
I think this is the most talented, best coached Auburn team that they have ever had, and I think this is a team that can contend to go to the national championship. So I think, you know, by the end of the season, we could have 2 teams from our state at the NCAAs, you know, fighting out to go to Super 6.
We don't necessarily think about it. We're definitely aware of the streak. But I think if you start losing focus on your gymnastics and start focusing on however many times you've beaten them, you kind of set yourself up to not do so well.
That's right.
So we just kind of focus on what we need to do to be our best and to get ourselves a good score, and hopefully it will come out with a win.
University of Alabama head football coach Nick Saban announced today the hiring of Kerry Stevenson as Alabama's Director of Player Development. Stevenson comes to the capstone after spending the last 10 years as the highly successful head football coach at Viger High School in Pritchard. He takes over for Kevin Shearer, who was recently named the defensive coordinator at South Alabama. Stevenson's main focus will be off-the-field activities of Alabama's football student athletes, and he will serve as an important resource in balancing the demands of academics, athletics, and community outreach. He will also assist with personnel development programs, including the peer intervention group. And we told you earlier in the week to expect this. University of Alabama head coach Nick Saban also announcing today the hiring of Kevin Still as Alabama's Director of Player Personnel. Still, who spent the 2007 and 2008 seasons on Saban's defensive staff at Alabama, comes to UA following a 3-year stint as the defensive coordinator at Clemson. At Alabama, Still's main charge will be to direct the recruiting efforts for the Crimson Tide. He will also assist with camps, clinics, and other football-related events. In addition, his responsibilities will include assisting with the administration and operation of the entire football program. It's sub-regional time for high school basketball teams. The girls are on tap tonight. Akron, Berry, Holy Spirit, Aliceville, Holt, Greensboro, Greene County, ACA, Bibb County, Bryant, Central, Hillcrest, and Northridge are all playing this evening. We'll have your scores and highlights coming up tonight on the news at 10. And 9 Tuscaloosa County High School wrestlers are representing the school at the Class 6A state tournament in Huntsville, which kicked off today and will run through Saturday. Senior Cole Horton, freshman Carlos Andres, senior Kiriki Pruitt, senior Christian Stewart, senior Harrison Turner, freshman Josh Smith, senior Solomon Archibald, senior Brian Brown, and senior Elijah David are all competing in Huntsville for the Wildcats. Good luck to them. That's a look at sports. The news at 6 will return right after this.
This has been the Tuscaloosa Chevrolet Sports Update on WVUA. Roll, Chevy, roll.